Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and as you can see I am doing somewhat different page sizes here. I've got a 4x8 on this side, a 3x8 on this side. They're both split in half. I'm working with some photos from my Chicago album. I went to this museum, I think you say it Driehaus Museum or Driehaus. I never actually heard anybody pronounce it, so I'm not sure what's correct. But I went here on, what would it have been, Sunday afternoon? Yes, Sunday afternoon, and loved it. This came from a little gift bag because I bought some postcards from there, and I decided to cut this out and make it work in one of my pages, so there it is. And then I have this photo here, which was a beautiful chandelier from inside the house. Plan to use that in the bottom pocket. This is not what I'm using here. This is just what happens to be from the other side. So I have to find something for that pocket. And then on this side, this one's totally empty. And then I actually have 3 photos here that I want to put into a photo flip that will be in the bottom pocket. So when I was getting ready to kind of start looking through embellishments, I actually looked a little harder at this page, and I realized I think I can use this as the background. The only problem is, of course, I've already put a staple in it, so you can see that because I didn't know I was going to use this. I think I could cover that up with maybe a phrase label or something that would go right over that, some kind of embellishment, and so I might end up using this. So I'm going to keep that there. It actually goes quite well with what's in the stained glass here in these photos. Now, that color doesn't really appear very much in these other 2 photos, but I think maybe I could add something down here or up here in that same color or something pretty similar, and it would bring it all together. So I think I'm going to make that my mission, is to figure out how to put this all together using this background and pulling in more of that color. Well, I went through all of my travel-related phrases, and I didn't find anything that was in a color that I liked or that had a phrase that I liked that I felt would go with this. So that's out, so I can put those away, at least for now. But I think I remember that in my stash of just generic circles and hearts and arrows and things, that I have some sparkly circles. And I'm wondering if I can just put one over this. It will go with what you see here in the chandelier. There's some gold on this other light fixture over here, another kind of candelabra thing here. There are bits of gold that appear in all of these, and so I'm wondering if I use that, will that bring it together? I'm going to try and see, so I'm going to go in search of those circles right now. Well, I did not find the circular gold sparkle stickers that I thought I had, but I did find these. I have 2 of these tags, and I've had these forever. I think it came in some kind of like Oriental trading set or something. I mean, many, many years ago, and this is one of the few things I have left. So I think I'm going to use these. I'm going to use this one for sure. I'm going to cut it off so it hangs over the edge to cover up that ugly staple. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with this one yet. I think it's going to have to be up here so that these are opposite, kind of diagonal from each other, but how to incorporate that, I'm not totally sure yet. All right, I attached that one, whoops, and cut off the excess, so that's just sitting there. I may do another staple, but I'd have to tuck it under the picture that's on the other side. That is doable. It's kind of a pain, but it's doable. But I don't know, I might leave it as well or layer something else up here. I don't know yet. So for now, I'm going to leave it like that. I am saving what's left here because this is kind of cool. Just this little bit that's left. I might be able to work that in somehow. Again, I'm not sure exactly where or how, but maybe. And I'm a believer in not throwing something away till I know I'm not going to use it. And this falls into that category. So I'm going to keep it because sometimes I end up, when I cut things like this, I end up using those as the tabs that I attach for lifting up flips. Here, I think it might be a little too much to have 3 of these, but I'll keep it because you never know. So I went into my stash trying to find something for this pocket for a background, and I found something, but I think it's going to require me to change some things. So I found this piece of just scrap cardstock. This is the other side. Definitely not using that. But I have this, and I was thinking if I cut this down, it would look really nice with all of this stuff. However, I don't want these two next to each other. So even though I had planned to put this in the bottom pocket because all of my other flips are in the top, that the top part gets very heavy, I wanted to try to balance it out by moving this down here, but I don't think that's going to work. If I move this up, then these are opposite each other. This is down here. Now, that potentially screws up what I wanted to do with the others of these, but I just think color-wise and design-wise, it'll look better down here. Well, I think I've changed my mind back to the way that I had it because I cut this and then I thought, well, what am I going to do with this card? And I went into a bunch of the stuff that I had picked out for Chicago and then just some miscellaneous tags and things. And I found this in there and this matches pretty well. It's two-tone, but I like that about it because it kind of makes me think of this window here, both of those colors going on. So I could put that up top and that helps work these colors in so this doesn't look so bad next to each other when I see it like this. Then I thought, well, could I undo the string or even keep it on there and maybe overlap it like that somehow to make it look more fun, and then I can incorporate some of that gold glitter in there. I think I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, I can always peel it apart and try something else. I ended up going with this instead. I tried to fit the circle over it and it didn't fit quite right and I just didn't like the look of it. So what I decided to do was just cut out this little chunk here but leave the hole that was in it, matched it up with the hole that was already there. And then I will take this and I'll rethread it and I'll just cut this down so it's not quite as long. I have the new tag all set to go with this added and the string put back through there. And I think having a little bit hanging out the top is actually very cool. I don't mind that. And so I'm just going to leave it like that. And however it falls once it's in the pocket. But I think I will adhere it about like so. And then because there's black in here, it gives me license to kind of put black some other places too. So I'm going to look at my phrase labels again, but my black and white ones, and then I can always stamp if I want to. I have 2 Chicago stamp sets that I can use, plus tons of generic phrases in stamps, so I can certainly do that. So I'm not so worried about getting that in order. Now I need to figure out what I'm going to do on the flip here. I really probably only need one thing maybe, because I've got this sparkly stuff happening up top, and so when I flip this up, it'll actually look like this. And then I really only need something maybe on one of these. So again, maybe here, could possibly do something up here. We'll see how it goes. When I was looking for what to do with this, I decided that I probably would stamp, and I looked over on my desk and I actually had a stamp set sitting there. And it's fall themed because I had recently been working on some fall stuff, but I realized there was one in here that says the best. That could be for anything. And I loved this. This is one of the best things I did in Chicago. And so I thought, well, that's fitting. So I have that one on here. These are fairly new, so I seasoned it because I don't think I've used any of those. You can tell kind of the ones I did. I don't think I've used this one. So I'm going to ink it up with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. That's my favorite black ink when I'm not using StazOn for something special. So I will use that, and I think I'm going to put it right here in this space. I was trying to figure out what else I could add here because I have this empty space here, and then if I want to layer here, what would I do? And when I was looking at this, I do have a lot of gold in there, but there's also silver, which made me think, well, maybe I could do gray. Gray is a neutral. It would pick up on this, but not detract from the gray, hopefully. And then you can see more silver here as well. I have these old puffy stickers from Citrus Twist. I don't even remember how long I've had these, couple years at least. But there happen to be 3 hearts in here, all gray, different sizes. I think I can add those here and it'll be okay. I can do the biggest one here if it'll fit, and then one of these others over here. And maybe I can work in the third one in one of the photos in the flip here so that it ends up being kind of a visual triangle, but then I end up using 3. All right, so I added the hearts here. I adhered everything. I made my photo flip. There it is. So I have all of that ready to go. I'm not quite sure what else I want to do with these. So in the meantime, I'm going to do some ink splattering. I'm going to do gold over here and here, I think. Or actually, should I do black? I could do either one. Oh, wait. Let me go off camera and think about that. When I come back, you'll see me do it. All right, I've decided to live on the edge and go with black. So I'm using my Heidi Swap Color Shine black here. And black always makes me nervous, more so than anything else, because it just feels so permanent. If you screw it up, it's going to show. So you have to be careful. So I want to just get off a lot of it here. And then as you can see, I have my photo covered because I don't really want any on there. I just want it on the sides. So actually I'll do this first. Maybe I'll hold that down just to make sure it doesn't get under there by accident. There we go. And then move it over just a hair. Oops, that's too far. There we go for that side. Oh, see, those are kind of big. Lighter touch down here. You know, maybe I'll leave it like that. Kind of a lot of space in there, but I don't want to overdo it, so I'll leave it. I've done both of those cards now, and while they are drying, just realized I probably should have moved that over. While they're drying, I'm working on this because I found in my stash this little phrase that said, I could live here. You know, really I couldn't, because who could afford this? Nobody normal, but you know what I mean. It's to be fun. And then it gives me an opportunity to use that last little puffy heart, and I can layer it right. How do I want it? There's a little spot there. I got something on it. Maybe if I do this, I can cover it up. I don't like it right at the edge there. Not sure I like that. How about here instead? I like that better. That was a little too close to the edge. I like that better. All right, so now all I have to do is load everything, and then it'll be done. Well, I realized that I needed a tab on here to be able to show that this needs to be flipped up. So I grabbed some of these. Most of these are from Ellie's Studio, but not all. This one is, I believe. And I just tucked it in between the photo and the backing there. Glued it down that way so that once it's in the pocket, you can just go like this and flip it up. These aren't totally dry yet, so I can't put those in the pockets, but you get the idea from what I have laid out here, how it looks. So here's another one finished for Chicago. Thanks for watching.